Of the May 21st meeting of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners to order. Mike, please take the roll.
Commissioner Welker.
Here.
Commissioner Vyers.
Here.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Here.
Commissioner Barrett.
Here.
President Kelly.
First order presentations, summer day camps.
Yes, we have our camps and preschool manager, Kelly Nielsen, with us today to give us an overview.
Yeah, what a year, in a year, so much can change. I was, fresh at this job this time last year, and so, I'm excited to be here tonight and kind of give you guys an update. If I haven't had a chance to meet you, I'm Kelly Nielsen, preschool and camp manager. We're just 2 weeks away from the start of camp and days away from training starting, when over 70 camp counselors will come to the community center for a variety of important trainings, including CPR certification. They will have WDSRA out to do a behavioral management training. They'll do ALICE training with the Wheaton Police Department, along with pool safety training with our aquatic staff. And then we're going to cap off the week with our second annual ice cream social. So we're super excited. Excitement about our camp has been higher than ever. When registration opened in February, a lot of our camps filled up very quickly. So in response, we worked closely with our other departments to secure some additional space in the community center, hired some more staff, which allowed us to expand Camp No Name up to 148 campers every week. So that's a 50% increase because our cap in years past has been 100. So I'm thrilled to share that we now have over 4,700 kids registered for our camps this summer. And this time last year, it was 3,400. Wow. Since we're talking about numbers, I think it's fun to share that of the 73 camp staff that's working this summer, only 17 of them are new hires. And I had 125 applicants online to choose from, yeah. So not only has word gotten out about how great our camps are, but it's also turning into the place to work in Wheaton. Another exciting piece of information to share is that we'll have 20 campers this summer with us receiving services through WDSRA, and they'll have inclusion aids. And 10 of them are brand new to receiving services. So that's really exciting that we're getting the word out that all are welcome at our camps. I've been busy behind the scenes planning out an exciting summer. This summer, campers will enjoy some new things on the schedule, like a performance by the Jesse White Tumblers in week 1. They'll have a morning of geocaching with the Lincoln Marsh over at Northside Park. We'll do an interactive reptile show with the all-famous reptile guy. We're also going to have a BMX bike show by Matt Wilhelm, who is a local, but he was also a contestant on America's Got Talent. And he comes with not only a bike show, but also a word about character and bullying. And so it'll be a little bit of a show, but also I think the campers will be able to take something away from that. And then of course, we'll always, we'll have our favorites, like going to a Kane County Cougars game, visiting the zoo and main event, and then also going to the movie theater, which is always a big hit with the kids. So I think it's safe to say that this summer, our campers will have a very memorable time at our camps.
Wow, sounds great.
Thanks, Kelly. Anybody have any questions for Kelly?
I have one question regarding the CPR training. So student or camp counselors who are returning, which is most of them, is their training the same as it was previously, or is it a refresher, or can you elaborate on what you do?
We loop everybody into one, and so they will be retrained just the same as anyone who is hearing it for the first time.
And who does the training?
I do, along with Chad Shingler. We're going to lead it, and then we'll also have a lot of our other staff on site. Deb Ditchman, I know Jamie will be there. Trying to think of who else is on staff. But yeah, they'll be, say it again? Megan will be there, yep.
Okay, great, thank you.
No problem.
Anybody else? No.
Just thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
No problem, yeah.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Donna, did anybody sign up for community input?
No.
Okay. I need somebody to make a motion on the consent agenda.
I will move to approve the consent agenda items, A through E, A, approval of the disbursements totaling $1,691,771.57 for the period beginning April 9th, 2025 and ending May 13th, 2025. Item B, approval of amended subcommittee meeting schedule for the Wheaton Park District. Item C, approval of subcommittee meeting minutes, April 2nd, 2025. D, approval of board meeting minutes, April 23rd, 2025. And E, approval of closed session minutes, January 10th, 2024, January 17th, 2024, February 7th, 2024, February 21st, 2024, March 6th, 2024, March 20th, 2024, April 3rd, 2024, April 17th, 2024, June 16th, 2024, July 10th, 2024, July 17th, 2024, August 21st, 2024, October 23rd, 2024, and November 6th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, so we had a motion by Pacharich and a second by Vires.
2 points under discussion. You will notice on the January 17th minutes, we had 2 blanks that have since been filled in related to the time of adjournment and those commissioners that moved and seconded to adjourn. And then we have just a handful of Scrivener's errors related to attendance that we'll be correcting. But no, there was no content feedback from any board members, so you're safe to approve these with the caveat of those Scrivener's errors being corrected.
Okay. Anybody have questions or comments? All right, Mike, take the roll, please.
Commissioner Welker, excuse me.
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, we have none. So we will move on to new business, which is swearing in of the Park District Commissioners-elect John Kelly, Angela Welker, and Bill Barrett by Judge Paul Fullerton.
Sir.
So we'll go up and do it up in front.
Or you want to do this all at the same time? All you need to know is your name, so you get to do this. All right, raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
William Barrett,
John Kelly.
All right, you have to repeat after me for everything, okay? Do you solemnly swear and affirm
Do
solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois
and the statutes of the State of Illinois,
and the statutes of the State of Illinois,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Park Commissioner
of the office of Park Commissioner
in the Wheaton Park District
in the Wheaton Park
to
District.
the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
The next order of business is to elect new officers. I need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to elect John Byers as president and William Barrett as vice president of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners.
Second.
So we had a motion by Pacharich and a second by Welker.
Opposite.
Opposite. Oh, motion by Welker, second by Pacharich. I should have looked up. Mike, do we need a roll call for that, or we can do a voice vote, right? Yeah, so we'll do, anybody have any questions or comments? No? All right, let's do a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that motion carried. So I'll now turn the rest of the meeting over to President Vires.
I'll miss you. Do you want us to move down?
No.
Okay.
Sit down to Kelly.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for that. Congratulations to President Kelly on an uneventful 2 years. We'll get on with the rest of the business here. First of all, we're going to need a motion to appoint Mike Bernard as Secretary of the Board and Sandra Simpson as Treasurer of the Wheaton Park District. Somebody want to make that motion?
So moved.
Oh, we have to reappoint you as Executive Director, too?
Appreciate it if you would.
All right. Is that all right? We'll add Executive Director to that, to Mike's title as well?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, screwing stuff up already. All right, so I got a motion from Kelly. Did I get a second?
Second.
Second from Pacharich. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I get to appoint some people to the various subcommittees and as Foundation Board liaisons. So the Cosley Foundation Board liaison, I appoint Linda Pacharich. Linda, thank you for your service on that.
My pleasure.
DuPage Museum Foundation Board liaison, I appoint William Barrett. Thank you, Bill, for your service. Century Garden and Playground Foundation, I appoint Terry Mee. He's not here to defend himself, so welcome Terry to that committee. Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee Chair, John Kelly, has volunteered again to be the chairman of that. So John, thank you for your service. And as Finance Subcommittee Chair, I will serve in that capacity. Under new business, item number 1, Ray Morrill Community Center. Does somebody have a motion ready?
Motion to approve the base bid from L2 Design Group in the amount of $66,700 plus a 10% contingency.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Barrett and a second from Pacharich. Any questions or comments?
I just wanted to confirm that there will actually be cost savings that will put us below that $66,700 mark. I know we discussed it at the subcommittee meeting, and Mike and I talked about this, but if either Mike or John, if you could give us an idea of what we would expect, best case or worst case scenario in savings.
I'd be happy to. We have identified with the apparent low bidder, now that they're about to be our contractor, slightly over $10,000 in change orders that will be immediately put into play. One is related to the reuse of some existing material that's already there, and the other is related to the contractor will be able to shift a subcontractor for sourcing the lettering, which will save additional money. And then there's a final change order that, Rob, if you could assist me, the amount of money we're going to be able to save by maintaining that, the cap as a.
Gravel stop.
I don't remember the specific number, in the neighborhood of 2,000, I believe.
Yeah, so we'll be close to $12,000 in change orders right off the bat.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and Mike, it's important to point out that the total cost of this project just isn't for the sign. It's when we remove the old sign, a bunch of the front of the facade, which is metal panels, has been damaged, and those panels need to be replaced. So this is an upgrade to the facade too, not just $66,000 for the cost of a sign.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments or questions? Mike, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Welker.
Yes.
President Vires.
Yes. On item 2, the Ray Center Memorial Room Sound System. Somebody have a motion ready?
I'd like to move to approve the base bid from Mesa Electronics in the amount of $56,681.10.
Second.
So we have a motion by Welker and a second by Barrett. Any comments? Mike, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Welker.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
President Vires.
Yes. Item 3, purchase of the backhoe. Anybody want to make a motion for that?
I'll move to approve the purchase of a 2025 Case 580 SN backhoe loader in the amount of $130,874 from McCann Industries through the Sourcewell Purchasing Program.
Second.
So a motion by Pacharich and a second by Barrett. Any comments?
Just that my children would have wanted me to buy one of these for them when they were little. But
Any other comments? All right, Mike, you call the roll.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Welker.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich.
yes,
President Vires.
Yes. Item 4, purchase of a Ford F-150. Somebody have a motion ready?
Motion to approve the purchase of a 2025 Ford F-150 in the amount of $39,576 from Curry Motors Ford.
So we have a motion by Barrett and a second by Welker. Any comments? Mike, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Welker?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly? Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Vires.
Yes. Item 5, purchase of a Ford F-230. Somebody have a motion ready?
I move to approve the purchase of two 2025 Ford F-230 crew cab trucks in the amount of $143,836 from Morrow Brothers through the state purchasing program.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Welker and a second by Kelly. Any comments? Mike, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Welker?
Yes.
President Vires.
Yes. Item number 6, Blanchard Building parking lot replacement. Somebody have a motion ready?
Yeah, I'll move that we approve change order number 1 from Abbey Paving in a contract increase of $15,378.
Second.
So we have a motion by Kelly, a second by Pacharich. Somebody want to make a comment on that?
That's our favorite topic, unsuitable soil.
It's,
And,
unsuitable
it's not
soil.
unusual to run into it when you're doing parking lot projects, which is why we approve these contingencies when we approve a bid, because we pretty much expect that we're going to have something in the lines because we're not calling for a complete replacement. This way we save money and only replace what we actually find is bad.
Yeah. Any other comments? This sounds like it's a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Cosley Zoo Pavilion. Somebody have a motion ready?
Yeah, I'll move the approved change order number 2 and 3 from Doyle in the amount of $7,850.
Second.
Motion by Kelly and a second by Barrett. Anybody have any comments?
Yeah, that's, if you want to put in the record what we're actually approving, one was some temporary access. The other was in order to avoid ruining our pavers coming in, we're going to use later concrete trucks, so we're going to pay an extra delivery charge, which actually turned out to be cheaper than putting down heavy planks on that whole drive all the way in. So we're getting the weight down to the same as our our garbage trucks.
Any other comments? Looks like a voice vote to me. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8, Cosley Zoo overflow parking lot. Somebody have a motion ready?
I'll move to approve change order number 3 from EP Doyle Construction for a contract increase of $4,202.30.
Second.
Motion by Pacharich and a second by Barrett. Any comments?
Yeah, same thing as in the other parking lot. It was undercuts under the retaining wall area where the soil that we're supposed to build the wall on didn't meet spec.
Okay. Any other comments? This again looks like a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, reimbursement agreement with Briar Cliff Baseball. Somebody have a motion ready?
I'd like to move to approve a reimbursement agreement with the Wheaton Briarcliff Youth Baseball for the construction of a batting cage.
Second.
So was that Pacharich motion and a second with vice versa, Welker? And
You should look up too.
actually, look at they sound similar. All right, so Welker motion, second Pacharich. Any comments on that? Mike, do you want to describe what this is real quick?
Certainly. As you know, we have a partnership with Wheaton Briarcliff Baseball Organization. They primarily call home fields over at Briar Patch Park and Scottdale Park. They have seen the benefit that our Wheaton Youth Baseball program has derived from the installation of some batting cages at Atten Park, and we have plans to install one at Graff Park later this year. And they have raised sufficient funds within their organization and have offered to pay for the cost of constructing a similar batting cage at Briar Patch Park for not only for their use, but for the public's use as well. They will be open to the public all year for anybody's use. So this reimbursement agreement will manage that relationship. Rob's team we'll put the project out to bid. A piece of good news related to their request is usually when we create an impervious surface, there's a freight that needs to be paid in the form of creating additional detention. On the last project we completed at Briar Patch Park, as you recall, that entire park renovation through the OSLAD grant program assisting in financing it, we did have some, surplus detention. So we will not, they will not be required to pay for additional detention through their reimbursement program, which was a nice surprise for all concerned. So that about covers it. We will navigate with the organization as we move forward for progress billing and ultimately final payment once the project is complete. But Rob's team will be putting this project out to bid, as it is certainly, as our other projects will exceed the $30,000 bid threshold. And that item probably maybe August will be before the board for approval when those bids come in.
All right, great. Any questions or comments from the board? Now let's do a roll call, Mike.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Welker? Yes. Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Vires?
Yes. Item 10, Graff Park, Atten Park, Seven Gables Central Athletic Complex, engineering study. Somebody have a motion ready?
I'd like to move to approve a contract for professional services with White Engineering in the amount of $69,200 for athletic field engineering.
Second.
So we have a motion by Welker and a second by Barrett. Any questions or comments from the board?
I do have a couple of questions. So I guess my question is if we are going out to get this field study done, do we have any idea at this juncture how much it would cost to do all of these things that are written in this first paragraph? I know the field study is going to give us that idea, but do we have any idea? Because I guess my question is, if we're going to spend, $55,000 or however much money on this, actually $69,200 on this, are we looking at something that's going to cost potentially $2 million, $3 million? And would we have the resources to actually do what the study shows us we can do?
Well, we're studying a number of things. So everything that is being studied, it wouldn't necessarily occur. For instance, we're studying the installation of synthetic turf at our three major athletic facility, our major community parks. We're also studying what it would take to put irrigation in those parks. If you're doing one or the other, right? If you decide you're going to do any of that, it's going to be one or the other, because obviously if you have synthetic turf, you're not going to need irrigation. We're also studying just improving drainage as an independent project as well. And in the case of Seven Gables, we're studying, again, adding that irrigation, while Seven Gables is not a viable candidate for synthetic turf because of its lack of lighting. So no, the purpose of the study is to actually gain the insight into the true costs and the true challenges related to any of those options that we're pursuing. It's purely investigatory in nature, so the board will then have the information available to it to determine future project direction and future project funding. For instance, if a project was determined to be viable, the next question is, do we have sufficient funds in capital project reserves to accomplish it, or do we need to accomplish financing through some other means? As an example, to, I guess, partially answer your question, the synthetic turf field at Graff Park that we built, which is soccer, football, lacrosse, in 2012, check my facts here, Rob, 2012, I believe that was a just short of $1 million project. So that gives you an idea on installing synthetic turf. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think you need to point out too that out of this $65,000 contract, $40,000 is for the Graff Park field that we have to do.
Correct.
Replace that field. So we're really only spending $13,000 on studies at one park and $14,000 on studies at the other park, we're not spending $66,000 in studies.
Correct.
We have a design contract to do,
We will be, to
to
the
do
point
the
John's
Graf
making.
Park,
yeah.
because that's,
The carpet is due to be replaced at Graf Park where we have a synthetic turf field,
Right.
and that's the bulk of the expense on engineering, as well as that, the aforementioned batting cage at Graf Park is also being wrapped up into this project as well from a design standpoint. So that's 100% correct, John. The bulk of the money is for projects that we will actually accomplish.
Mike, can you remind me how many fields we had to take kind of out of use this season due to either overuse, irrigation issues, or flooding?
Well, flooding, rain will take different fields out depending on, the amount of rain that we receive. We did rest this entire spring, and I believe we'll be resting them through the summer, if I'm not mistaken, the entire, the soccer field area and where all the baseball and softball fields meet at Central Athletic Complex. That area is being rested all spring, and I believe this summer as well. That resting comes into play when there's overuse and the destruction that comes from overuse and the challenges of maintaining turf in an environment where number one, we have overuse, and number two, we have no irrigation.
Okay, and how many lit fields do we have throughout the park
We
district?
have lit fields at Atten Park, at CAC, and at Graf Park.
So it was a third that were a third of the lit fields were not usable?
no, they were used for baseball.
They're used for baseball and softball. The outfields were not being used this spring and summer for soccer
Okay.
specifically.
But that would occur after baseball's over, right?
Correct.
We don't run
No,
So-
spring soccer occurs. They balance the use of those fields between baseball,
there's-
softball, and soccer.
So there's soccer games and no baseball games are scheduled then?
No, same time, because we got fences for baseball, softball. Soccer happens in the middle.
Oh, that can all fit
Yeah,
in
they can
there.
all fit.
Wow, that didn't used to happen.
Any other comments or questions?
Nope.
All right, Mike, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Pacharich,
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Welker, President Byers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 11, Tui Park. Does somebody have a motion for that?
I'll move to approve a contract for professional services with Upland Design in the amount of $13,800 for park design services.
All right, a motion by Pacharich, and a second by Welker. Any comments or questions from the board? All right, this looks like a a voice vote, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, IPRA, Statewide Funding Initiative. Somebody have a motion ready?
Motion to approve a grant application to Prairie Path Park and South Gables Park. Seven Gables, pardon me.
So, was that Kelly who second? Barrett, and a second by Kelly?
Yep.
All right. Any comments from the board? Nope. Roll call vote, Mike?
Commissioner Welker,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett,
Yes.
President Byers.
Yes. Item 13, Annual Review of Finance Policies. Does somebody have a motion ready?
I'll move to approve the finance policies of the Wheaton Park District as amended.
Second.
So, a motion by Pacharich and a second by Barrett. Any comments from the board? Mike, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Welker. President Byers.
Yes. Item 14, Cream of Wheaton Beer Garden. Does somebody have a motion ready?
I'll move we approve purchases from Euclid Beverage in an amount not to exceed $29,000 for the Cream of Wheaton Beer Garden.
Second.
Motion by Kelly and a second by Pacharich. Any comments from the board?
No.
Under 30 for a voice, or do we need to do a roll call?
Do a roll call.
All right, call the roll.
Commissioner Pacharich.
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett.
Yes.
Commissioner Welker. Yes. Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
President Byers.
Yes, okay, that does it for new business. Let's get to reports from staff. Mike, do you have anything?
Yes, two things. Number one, thank you for your continued confidence and support of me as your executive director, as evidenced through your appointment of me earlier today. Thank you so much. It's truly an
Because you
honor.
reminded me.
But you jumped right on it when I did, which is appreciated. So we have a great park district, great program, and a fabulous team, and a wonderful community, and it's my honor to serve in this capacity with all of you. And then secondarily, I'd like to thank Commissioner Kelly for his 2 years of leadership and partnership and counsel as president. 2023 and 2024 presented its share of challenges. And I don't think it's possible to probably articulate accurately the amount of time and effort and care that went into John's presidency. I just wanted to indicate my appreciation and on behalf of the entire team for your help in making sure that this ship sailed through.
Full head of brown hair 2 years ago.
Thank you very much, John. That's all I have.
All right, let's start down at the end there. Angie, you got anything?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay. John, you got anything?
Not today.
Linda?
No, I don't today, other than thank you as usual for all the work that you guys do to make the Park District look good.
Bill, anything?
Good.
Okay, well, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.